and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Neil Pickup here in the Mother Fluffing house. Welcome to the fix. I am joking. That was impressive, wasn't it? From Haugland. Yeah, he's firing a bit of the old Devil Barrett through head back angle. Power here. You're staying understated, Ryan. That's not cool. There it is.
Oh, no, Ryan. No.
You're not in the hunt today, son. It's that pale skin as well. There's no black or yellow going. Might have been trained by Todd Zilla, but he ain't got his angles down from training with Micah Yellow. That's what you need. It's all about being rounded. I think you need that vector covering. Ladies and gents, welcome to the show. Can't even remember what episode this is. It's like 19. Probably 19, I think. And we were joined on 18 by Frode Haugland. He's remained with us one more time. Troop in the cup. Got the old WAL t-shirt on. And we're going to go straight back in with questions in this one, lads. And ladies who are watching. Now then, let's have a look. Oh. Raimonds Liepins, it's all about you, son. This one is from Thomas Quivedo. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Hey, Neil, great video. Can I ask Raimonds Liepins and Bowen, what's the thing with Vlad the Destroyer? Latvian beats pretty small and beat the out of Liepins and a yellow. Oh, he's gone flying in there. Flying, shot you right down. I would like to know your opinion about him and how you see him versus Ryan. Everybody's, nobody can move past that. Everybody's gonna nail. I love you style, Thomas. Throw Ryan in.
Yeah, I love it. I love that I get put in polls against Levan Stanganishvili. I think that's cool.
And then he's not finished there. He says also, like to know your opinion about if you would have to bet money. Where would you put it in a match between Ryan and Ray? And obviously, as I am the host of this show, I'm going to defect on that one and give it straight to Frode Haugland, who will answer that one for you. Yeah, he says, maybe too much to ask, hope not, keep up the great content. No, regards from Chile, it's not too much to ask, mate. We love that kind of question from our fans, particularly when they fling Ryan under the bus. So, we're going to dive straight into it with Raimonds Liepins. What's your opinion of your teammate Vlad the Destroyer? Why did he beat a yellow? Why did he kick your ass?
Why? Because he's Vlad. He's the most genetically gifted and hardworking guy I know that I coach. I don't know anyone more gifted and who works harder than him. He trains like crazy. He wants to be the best. He has been the best three-time junior, and the guy got suspended this year, Alajan, so one-time senior world champion, three-time European champion. Name everything. I have zero chances against him. Zero. I would say all of us have zero chances against him. Both arms. The form that he showed up 2 days ago in nationals, for third year in a row he won overalls with left arm, beating everyone, and with right arm he lost to Thompson's. And that's and he weighed in 85, Thompson's weighed in 110 if I'm correct. So it's 25 kilo difference. Just a beast. He's the best he has ever been right now, and that's hard work, genetics. He started 2013 or no 2012, if I'm correct, at the end of the year, and next year he already was junior world champion. So that's the difference, Not everyone is gifted, and not everyone is willing to work hard. Plus, he's from Latvia. And we know our shit. We know how to guide the guys that can be guided very well. And yeah.
And just to back up that last comment about the Latvians knowing their shizzle, where can people go and check out what you know, Rolls Royce of arm wrestling?
Yeah, go to Rolls Royce of Arm Wrestling. We drive the best cars in arm wrestling world. We'll go to Voice of Arm Wrestling channel. We have a lot of different tutorials for different exercise, workouts, techniques, everything else. It's most educational stuff you will find.
It really is good gear. I mean, it's fantastic stuff that that the lads from Latvia, Raimonds' channel's absolutely spot on, and it addresses a lot of the things that do come up in the show. So please get yourself over to Voice of Arm Wrestling and check out some of the tutorials, check out some of the lessons that you can get there. You're never too old or too long in the tooth in arm wrestling to pick, and even if you do know some of this stuff, go in there and just do refreshers, just change things up. I think one of the biggest things is when you get set in your ways and you don't change things up, it can get a little bit boring, a little bit tedious. So it's nice to be able to spice things up a bit, and perfect opportunity to do that on Ray's platform there. So let's get right into the thick of it. For a start, we didn't cover the Micah Yellow bit. I mean, I think we did sort of cover it in there. I suppose the only thing you can say is that Vlad is not genetically gifted in terms of leverage and size. But he makes up for it with pure explosivity. He's got venomous strength and very explosive, so he can move a bigger man into a disadvantageous position really quick.
Yeah. Like when we were in Arizona, like he wasn't at his best with right arm, not even close. Like when he lost to Giannis, he was exhausted, but I would believe he would still lost to Giannis. Now he beat Giannis in previous weekend and in Rig Open, like super easily. He's that much stronger right now. He has like the strongest hand we have in Latvia. Like we have tried different things, and Vlad, compared to his weight, he can lift more than he weighs with just like cupping with big handles, anything else. And his hand is really his main weapon. But also he's like, if you look at his arms, you see he looks super gifted for arm wrestling. And he is. And explosiveness, he's smart. He can arm wrestle in any position. Like he has tricep press, he has hook. But we turned back from all of inside moves and went back to basics, what win us the championships, which was top roll. And his top roll is outstandingly good right now. We will, like, when this video is out, there will be video on our channel already, and you can see, like, how he did. We will make highlight video of his performance in nationals. Yeah.
Get over there and check it out on the Rolls Royce of arm wrestling with Raimond Liepins. And obviously, you gave him a glowing reference. I'm just going to check in with my technical expert, Frode Haugland. Frode, do you think that was a relatively glowing reference? How did you feel? Do you feel like Vlad's pretty decent?
It's okay.
Yeah, I felt it was unbiased. Obviously, Raimonds, you didn't get an inkling of bias there, did you?
No. But we, hey, we have resume to back it up.
Resume there. Now then, when I hear somebody talk about any arm wrestler or athlete of any description in those terms, one thing jumps into my mind. Can he beat Ryan Bowen? Second part of Thomas's question, how do you guys think that he will do with Ryan? Now, I don't like taking a risk on these shows. I'm going to go first. I think he kills Ryan.
Well, I know what everyone's answer is on this. That's all right. When I got to see Vlad in action in Arizona, he put on a show like no one else in the room that day. He entered his own weight class left and right. First of all, the tournament, all of the weight categories will run simultaneously. So Vlad's name was every third name called because he was pulling all weight classes, and he was just literally going up and banging people down so fast that the looks on his opponent's faces were like, what the hell? Who is this bloke? So the name Vlad the Destroyer, I think, Ray, was it that name born that day?
Yeah. On that day.
Whoever was on the mic was like, and after Vlad had literally destroyed the first 20 people he faced, the name stuck, and everyone was like, Jesus, look at this dude, he is a freaking beast. So, he is the star, without a doubt. The first time I touched Vlad's hand was at John Brzezink's barbecue, the day after, and, as much pulling as Vlad had done, and he had lost matches too. Inevitably, after winning a whole bunch, he did lose to Giannis. I think he lost to Travis. He lost to Lachlan. So he had work on his arm as well. He didn't go through.
Time out. Wait a minute. I sense that you're building up to an emotional and, I'm going to say, potentially mildly plausible version of how you might be able to win against Vlad, right?
He needs to enter 20
because I've gone flying in. Now, I've nailed my colours to the mast, but Raimonds, I feel like your answer's probably going to be, slightly aligned with mine. But I want to hear what you say, and I want to hear what Frode says before Ryan convinces us that he killed Vlad.
Oh my goodness! All right,
so go
for it.
Hey, come on. Don't sit back. Don't be shy now. Come on. Come on, Ray.
It's about 4.4% chance.
44% chance of beating Vlad, you reckon, Frode, yeah? And this is right arm, obviously, because let's be fair to Ryan. He's never had a t-shirt done about the left yet. So. Now, Ray, you can't sit here, mate. Don't try and duck and let the quietest man in arm wrestling, Frode, come diving in over the top of you.
No chance.
Oh. Have another sip of that beer, Ryan.
That's such a harsh reality check. The guy is like, I don't know how many percent above all of these guys right here. I believe it 100%.
That's you, Frode. I just said that about you.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
So, where I was going to get to in all that. I was actually building a very, very glowing report of Vlad, where I was, like I said, I watched the man pull, 30 or 40 matches each arm that weekend. So he had work on his arm. I got to John's place, and if you go and watch the after pulling video, the very first guy I pull is Vlad, and I'd done significantly less work on my arm. I'd had a super match with Dallas on the Friday and a super match with Dan Mosier on the Saturday. That's all I'd pulled, 2 super matches. And when I pulled Vlad, any degree of slow pull was like, holy shit, like what the hell am I dealing with here? His little compact body was so freaking like a steel trap that his ability to cut was just phenomenal, and his fingers felt stupid. And I just was like, I can't do anything. The only inkling I had anywhere was if he sat still and allowed me to post heavy and essentially hit into his fingers, then there was I could feel, how you get the feeling where you can at least see the horizon on someone. I felt, I can see the horizon. I'm still not strong enough, but I can see a horizon. It's over there that I could maybe at least get the straps. That was the feeling I got. So I'm more than happy to say that Vlad kicks my ass in a ready go.
Are we done?
Okay, I gotta go. Wait a minute. I think we need to record this. What time is it?
Yeah.
You know what? That's
if we're talking about Todd Hudson, then it's a different story.
It's 11 o'clock at night, and Ryan's just come out with Vlad can beat me. What? Ryan, you've got me down, so I'm not going to say I'm a bit upset.
The reason I say that is because I've never dealt with a style like Vlad. I've never dealt with someone that short that has an amazing top roll and all the fundamentals to protect it. So I can't hook the man, and the fact that I can't take his wrist means that there's no option for me on him. So he has a set of strengths that entirely disengages my game, is what I feel, and that just leaves me with nothing.
I actually agree entirely, and based on exactly the criteria you've just talked about, I think you bang on, absolutely bang on the money. He just has the ability to shut the light down, and a lot of it's that explosivity as well, Now, interesting one here. Styles make matches and all that. Can BLM do anything with Vlad? I want to hear what you think.
No.
BLM.
What the hell's that question? BLM can't do anything with Vlad. BLM was going to get drilled 3-0 by me, I was going to make him pin himself 3 times.
Exactly the point. You've obviously got high hopes around your chances with BLM, but can BLM and BLM's style give more problems to Vlad?
BLM might be a touch faster than I am, but not fast enough to worry Vlad. No.
I'm not even going to ring Raimonds in on this because
I'm like, no. This is like these questions and people are leaving these comments. Like he kicked the like the shit out of the Zloty Tour winner right arm, 105 kilo class, like many times. Like that's the level, and he's 85 kilos. Just when people are always asking these questions, like. There's a reality check. There are people who are just that good, who are top level. The second year they compete, they are there. And then there's
just the chosen ones, the weirdos.
I don't know if I was the ringmaster matchmaker of the WAL and Vlad was going to make a match, I would give his debut match against Paul Lynn, and then if he beats Paul Lynn, he'd be up against Davy Jones. That's how I see it.
I think Vlad's a bad match for Paul also.
Probably, but as an entry, you can't give him entry.
I think Storm's a better match for Vlad. Better match. Just because of that, he's got a very, very, very solid hand and wrist. I still think Vlad beats him, but I think he's a better matchup than Paul.
Yeah.
I will learn him English. He will speak fluent English. By next year, doesn't matter. He will speak fluent English.
He's going to train more English than he is arm wrestling.
Yeah, and that's good for his competitors.
Now then, we're about 17 minutes in, and we're still working on this same question, and it's just about to get interesting as I hurl Frode Haugland into the hot seat with this particular question, and the part about who wins a match between Raimonds and Ryan, and why. Frode?
I think,
here we go.
Right.
I love that big one.
So you've seen the guy's pull, like that. He hits Brian's weakness. I think
what was that?
I think he hits your weak spot. And,
weak? What weak spot?
All of them.
He knows, and Neil knows.
Hang on, Frode. Last time I went into a hook with Danny Tesh, it took Danny 20 seconds to pin me. He pinned you like in 5 seconds. So my hook's alright. I can go there. I'm just kidding. You didn't get pinned by Danny. I took that back. You got ripped off. But anyway, Raymond. Nah.
I think he's press.
What score does Raimonds win, Frode?
How many rounds?
6 rounds.
5.
Holy! Oh! God!
I will take 4 and then I will give him, something. Like we talked with Frode. Frode's gonna give me the first match.
Now I'm gonna have to kick both of your asses. Jesus.
Wait a minute. Can I just put a reality check in here for a minute? Okay. Because it's now July 2020, right? And we all know that in 6 months' time, Ryan's going to crack Todd Zillop. So, who? You're not going to get a chance to pull him, Raimonds, for till 2021 because he's not allowed out of Australia. And it's just lucky for you that he isn't because by the time that comes around, you know what I mean?
Levin is lucky. Kali is lucky. Tsiplenko, everyone's lucky.
You just wait. You save all these YouTube clips. Yeah, you save them.
All this is documented. I've got my money. I'm still going to be collecting my money from Ryan when Lachlan Adair and Todd hook up. And that's, and then I'll invest that at 500 into the next matchup. But I like that bet. That 5-1. I'll take that bet, Frode. I'll take that bet that it's not 5-1.
Yeah, but we need, you know, if it happens, we need scenario where it can be 6 rounds.
Yeah, 6 rounds. But I think it's a match.
Armwrestling, yeah.
I think it's a great match. What I think, wherever it takes place, maybe maybe if it's World Armwrestling League, where it's a good match.
I always want one of those super matches where if it's 3-3, we make it like a Wimbledon 5th set. We keep going till someone
round. Yeah.
Till someone leads by 2. I want 70.
Oh.
Imagine pulling 8. Yeah, doesn't matter. Nice.
Keep going. Because you don't want buckles determining it. You don't want anything. You want. Got to lead by 2.
Hey, I always practice with the buckle in my hand. I have no problem. I'll take all the buckles if you want.
Yeah. YouTube's always saying Ryan never takes the buckle, but never takes the buckle. Apparently,
strategy. It's all about strategy.
I've always thought. What was the name of the guy who asked the question? I can't remember. But whatever his name, Thomas. I've always thought that Ray and I will be kind of. I don't see much of a battle. I see rounds maybe going. If it did go back and forth, it's kind of like he puts me to the sword fast, or I put him to the sword fast. If I hit aggressively sideways and got Ray out of his shoulder, it's going to be over quicker. And likely, if he gets his shoulder in onto my bicep before I get him out of his shoulder, he's just going to push me straight to the pad. So there is.
So you basically just took Ray and saying he's a bit of a one-trick pony, because if he doesn't get his shoulder in.
If Ray tried to top roll me, I'd crush him.
Ooh,
God!
Try it. That will stop you. Man, you just like you're in the sweet spot for me to roll you if you're going to try and roll me.
I win the nationals with the top roll. I did go inside once, maybe once, but I didn't finish it. But I won with top roll, so it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, but it's a good match. Every other week it's a good match. It's an interesting one. The only other thing
what do you think the score's going to be?
COVID and saying like we need to this lockdown to end. You know, I'm going to call to COVID. We're going to talk, come to agreement.
It's difficult for me to predict the score because. Even though I've gripped up with Ray on 2 occasions, I have never been able to get a feel for the match because he's buried me every time. And he's buried me every. In Zloty, I just finished after pulling with a bunch of people, and fresh as a daisy, Ray walks up and says, "Come on, Ray, let's go again." I said, "My arm hurts," and he pushed straight through me. But I watched Jordan Davis hold Ray up easy. Ray couldn't press through Jordan Davis, so and Jordan was not fatigued like I was at the time. He had just after pulled. So Ray can't even push through Jordan Davis' defense.
No, not even a little. No.
Can Jordan Davis beat Ray?
Yes.
Jordan would be a worst matchup for me. Yeah. The classic good top roller style. Yeah.
Lachlan Adair concedes that he will not ever try to press Jordan. He's like, no, you don't try to press Jordan. You got a very good press defense.
Frode.
Yeah.
Can Paul Maiden beat Ryan Bowen?
Yeah. Yes.
This is terrible, Ryan.
It's the problem is I don't know how strong Ryan is. All I see is him pulling what he puts on YouTube. So, and
everyone falls into the trap of thinking Australians are weak until they finally. People think that I'm small. Like people see my digital image and they think, oh, they think I'm 5'10" and 80 kilos. And then when they meet me, they're like, oh shit, you're a lot bigger than I thought you were. Everyone. That's like 9 times out of 10 when people meet me for the first time, they're like, holy shit, you're way taller, way bigger than I thought you were. So.
People say that about me when I'm let down.
No, if someone think that Ryan is weak, you're stupid if you think Ryan is weak. Ryan is not weak. He's good. And yeah. And I'm that guy that's 5'7". I don't know.
I'm just shy of 6'2" is my height.
So at the moment we've got a 5-0 win for Raimonds. Ryan's not going to go out on a limb and commit to what the score's going to be, just he wins. Raimonds.
I'm not going to comment. No.
No comment? What is wrong with you people?
No comment, no.
Well, Ray's got the same data as me. He knows he pushed straight through the inflamed version of me, like a knife through butter. So he didn't feel what I would be able to throw to him in a match. So neither of us know really where it meets. We don't know.
It must happen. Oh, it must.
Yes, it will.
It will be the biggest arm wrestling YouTube match in history right now.
Damn COVID.
Arm Wars sounds perfect for it.
I think World Arm Wrestling League would love Ray as well.
Oh yeah.
He's Latvian. He's got nice hair. Yeah. You know.
701.
Yeah. And he gets into more matches than Vlad the Destroyer. 7'9" in height.
7'9", yes.
Young. Good looking. It's all there. There you go. You know? Exciting prospects. So, I think it's actually, and I don't mean this, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but it's better sometimes to have pullers where they can be touched rather than the sort of Vlad the Destroyer look where they just run through people, because it doesn't make us entertaining matches. I think people are more excited about matches that are, it's on the fence. I mean, there's three of us here and we've all got different opinions on that match is going to go. Well, we think we have because Raymond won't tell anybody. But, do you think you'd beat Ryan easy, Ray? Come on.
At least first 2 rounds, I feel I could beat him pretty easily. Then after that, we'll see. Yeah, he's crafty. He's very crafty.
You think endurance is the biggest problem?
Yeah. In this match, yeah. For me,
I agree with that. I agree with that. I do agree with that. I think that the latter rounds are more difficult for you, for sure. Because you're limited in where you can go. You sort of, you've got a line, which may be a very effective line, and obviously Frode's backing that line will get the job done pretty unscathed. My concern around that will be if Ryan hits a Kings as well. I think that can... Yeah. Have you pulled many Kings movers, Ray?
One hard Kings mover and one that was like his elbow didn't bend, but he stayed more upright, to say that. I had the same guy that Geoff Hale faced in Worlds.
Oh,
and he kicked the Kings move on him. I kicked the Kings move, and I was in the middle, holding him. He was just hanging on there, talking with refs. I think we had a foul or something, reset up, and then I just flashed him in the triceps,
Yeah. So you've got some experience in the Kings as well. It's interesting, mate. It's an interesting one. I'm still thinking 4-2 either way. I am. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised whichever way it went 4-2, but I don't see either of you getting through the other one easy in a super match. I just don't see that. I think Danny Tesh leathers all of you.
We need that 4-man battle royale that we talked about. Like we have 3 already here. We need Danny and.
I'll tell you another interesting guy that I do think comes into this mix very well, and that's Nanastav. I think that would be bloody interesting as well.
He's too tall. He's too tall for me. Come on.
Yeah, but it's a good conflict of styles, isn't it?
I know. Yeah.
So I do think he's very interesting. But you can throw it in a lot of ways. There's a number of guys that come could make up a very interesting four-way in that respect. But yeah, I do think that kind of matchup is very interesting, where you've got guys that are opposing styles. And I think from your perspective, I also get a little bit concerned, Ryan, about where you are now from an injury perspective. If it comes into a long drawn out battle, mate, I think that could come back to haunt you, mate.
I'm not too worried. I've seen a lot of people react saying that, oh, I'm in trouble, but I don't feel like I'm in trouble. I feel like I have inflammation that I'll deal with, and we'll get past it.
Don't rush it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not going to have any surgeries or anything like that, or corrective.
No, hell no. No, it's not at that point. No way. Like I arm wrestled 2 days ago against Lachlan, against Jordan, against the guy Mario Tembakis, who's the best from New South Wales, and I can still compete with all those guys at the highest level. Just competing a slightly different way. I'm not using my shoulder commitment. I'm more of a hand-based offense and defense, and I'm still good, and I can do that without really compromising anything. It's just I'm just not throwing my shoulder in like Todd Hutchins would.
So what's your plan to rehab it, Ryan? How are you going to, for people out there who may be facing similar issues, shoulder injuries, and we know that can be extremely problematic. John Brzenk, obviously, his entire career, and it's a similar injury, I think, isn't it? Was John's not labouring?
It's the same injury. Same injury as John. So my rehab, I have a soft tissue therapist that I'll book in to see next week to get some specific gym stuff. But for me, my overall philosophy on rehab has always been to activate the movements that actually stimulate blood flow in the area that is injured or inflamed, only to such a degree that it's approaching kind of any significant pressures. Well, I'm not going to go. You never do anything that's causing acute pain. So for me right now, it's a lot of external rotation because arm wrestling was so internally focused. So doing all the stuff that Giannis from the Rolls Royce of arm wrestling was doing the other day, with lying on the floor, doing external face down, lifting your shoulders up behind you with your hands, supinated, pronated, everything. The shoulders are very complex joints, so basically every movement with very light resistance. I'm doing negatives on external rotation. So with a band, I'm putting a pin around my foot, extending it and doing negatives with external rotation. But lots of light volume. I'm spending an hour a day rehabbing my shoulder at the moment.
Wow. That's a lot. To be fair, that is a lot of time invested into rehabbing, mate.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a little bit. I recommend to everyone who arm wrestles once a week at least one training session for your shoulders, lats, traps, everything else, rotator cuff. Work on it. The arms are attached right here, so all the power that you create here, it stops here. And at some point you can get injured if you don't take care of it. So take care of your shoulders, especially for top rollers. More you top roll, more you will have these kind of motions when the arm is jacked back, and don't overwork it. And
I think even more important for the long levered guys as well. I think guys with long levers, the greater the leverage, I think the more issue you're going to have with joints generally. But certainly in my experience, I've seen a lot of people, particularly countertop rollers, long-levered countertop rollers, take some serious abuse there, almost like their arms being cracked sideways off their body, massive opposing forces, because some of those guys are generating tremendous pressure. But investing that much time into rehabbing something on a daily basis is pretty committed. Are you doing like a lot of hot and cold and things like that as well, or magnets? Or?
I haven't delved into that yet, but like I said, I wanted to get the scan done before I went and sought out professional sort of therapies. I wanted to know exactly what I was dealing with so I could show them scans and that. So I've got a guy, my therapist, that will facilitate all those sorts of things. He takes care of myself and Jordan and Lachlan and a bunch of other arm wrestlers here in Brisbane. So he's a good guy, and whatever he gives me, I'll do. But I'm lucky. I'm very blessed that I have essentially all day, every day, to think about arm wrestling. So for me, a big portion of that right now is thinking about my shoulder. So I'm not too worried about it because I get it's easy to focus and give it the best possible attention that I can.
Frode, what do you do for your injuries, mate? Obviously, you're one of the most brutal, in terms of material arm wrestlers out there, people who use joint, who use ligament, who use tendon, who use bone. Not many people do it more than you do, mate. You've been in some horrible positions, so I'm pretty sure you face some nasty injuries. What's your chosen technique to rehab it?
Ibuprofen.
No. No, I don't have any serious injuries, but I use a power ball, you know. Just
okay, yeah. Gyro, like a gyro ball.
Yeah. That's basically it.
That's pretty simple.
Blood flowing in the forearms.
So it was just really around encouraging blood flow in the area.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you ever do any high repetition movements on tricep pressing and things like that, or do you just work statics most of the time?
I do all kinds of stuff, but it's very little high reps.
You hear good things, don't you, about high repetition movement for healing things? You know, particularly if you're emulating the position that you would see at the table, and then you did the exact same position or as near to it as you can possibly get for massive amounts of reps with very light resistance, like Ryan was saying.
I would do them in a static. but lighter.
Screw the recovery. Yeah.
Like just small, rotating. If I was holding the weights here in the position where I normally do heavy weights, do light weights and smaller movements. Like I do this. So it gets all the angles on the shoulders and
How often do you arm wrestle, Frode? What frequency?
1 to 2 times a week.
1 to 2 a week. And when you do arm wrestle, is it always hard sessions?
Yes.
Or are you doing always hard?
Always hard. If the guys that show up aren't strong enough, we use bands. And 2 arms, whatever it takes. We go burned.
Get this, look, Ray in the top corner there, look, he's mugging you off, look at him. Well,
I'm just like looking at those positions of the arm. And I think I have seen all the matches. Like there's few people on this planet that can hold that kind of resistance and say I just work my wrist with the gyro ball. Come on.
It is ridiculous.
What I love about this sport, that you've got a nation like Latvia who takes such an amazingly scientific and well thought out approach to getting strong in such an amazing way, and then you've got Frode who says, I hold 51 kilo dumbbells all day. What are you going to do about it? It's a match. I love that. It's so good.
Like somebody comes back from a war and says, remember that time where your leg was blown off at the knee? How did you rehab that? And Frode's like, I put a plaster on it. It's classically understated, mate. It's classically understated. I must admit, it threw me greatly when I asked you that question, and your answer was you had a gyro ball. And he doesn't even have it anymore. He said, I used to have it. Don't have it now. It's a bit shit.
Once upon a time I rehabbed with a gyro ball. But you know, it's like, it leads to fascinating differences on the table. Like, I was actually talking about this today with one of the young guys I trained with, Ethan. We were talking about Giannis, and we were talking about the shape of Giannis. His form is always perfect. Everything. He never gets out of position. He's always in a position. Even if he loses, if Giannis gets disengaged from that perfect position, he'll just flat out lose quick. But he is so good at protecting those perfect positions. Yeah. Then you've got Frode. Putting him out of a position means nothing. I mean, the match is nowhere near from over yet.
No.
So I love that.
To get out of position to be in a match, he's like, not here.
Yeah. Literally.
You're better off staying inside his cup and leaving him inside his shoulder. He's probably going to fatigue faster there.
Probably is.
But
I actually believe that's true in many ways, because what that does do is allow you to arm wrestle in an orthodox position, or for most people, what would be an orthodox position. Otherwise, you get stretched out. He'll drag you into a dogfight, and it's like, it's like fighting a monkey in a dustbin. You are coming out with scratches.
I've thought about it, and I'm giving away my strategy here. But if I was to ever face Frode in a super match, I would look to just achieve a little bit of hand and rotation dominance. But then I would back right off and be like, Frode, all the offense is on you, brother. I'm not attacking. You go to work. 'Cause, yeah, I don't want to try to get through that wall that he has as a defense. I'll let him try to get through in an offensive sense, which he's not used to. Make the stop happen on the other side of the spectrum.
Anybody ever done that? Have you had people do that before with you?
Well, when I pull people that are way too strong for me, it doesn't this happens, and they're just holding me, and I do actually get more tired there than by holding somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder to attack than to defend.
I think that Frode's ability to drive to the pad would be huge if you stayed truly inside his hand. But if you popped his hand like we often see Frode out here, but then didn't attack at all, just popped his wrist, but then said, all right, now then move over to the defensive side, get all coiled up and say, you pin me. And I've
actually done that looking around with Frode on a practice table, and let me tell you, when the little bastard revs up, you know he's there. Believe me, you know he's there. It's one of those where you're like, there you go, got your wrist in hand, go for it, and he goes for it, and then you're like, okay, let's do it again.
You gotta get in there.
It's got some power, I'm telling you. Strong.
Yeah, you gotta mix up. Yeah, I don't doubt it. That's why you gotta, I love the sport that you can get creative. You can do things like mix up the geometry and throw someone off out of their usual position. I always find that if you're leading the dance, I like to call it, if you're leading the technical dance as to where the match is being fought, it's an advantage to you every time if you're leading the dance. So, I'm gonna lead the dance.
You'll definitely have the opportunity to do that.
I like that.
I do. I think it's definitely you'll have the opportunity to do that. So the one thing, win or lose in that kind of match with someone that allows that, you definitely feel like you've pulled your best day. You couldn't have hit anything else. You got your shape. You got your where you wanted to be. It's almost like a very pure form of losing or winning, isn't it? If you lose, it's like, well, I wasn't going to win because I got to my spot, and he still beat my ass. John Brezink was the master of that. I mean, so many times I'd gone into a match with John, managed to hit quick, get to a position, and you think, oh, I'm pretty bloody good here. He's going to have to be good to beat me from here. Turns out he was. You come away and there's no regrets. You think, well, that's fair enough. Yeah. Got my ass handed to me by the better part of the day. Nothing we want me to say.
It's actually a very enjoyable way to lose. You don't walk away with your head hung down or anything. You feel good. You're like, shit, too good, man, and you enjoy patting the bloke on the back and saying it's too good.
Is it? What can he say? Not like when Ray screwed up and got leathered by Vlad the Destroyer. Not that. Ladies and gents, we're at 45 minutes in this episode of The Fix. I'm going to pull the curtain down on it there. Ladies and gents, I just want to say thanks to the resident guest, to Ryan Blue Bowen. Ryan, where can everybody go and find out more about you and what you do, Mother Fluffer?
Oh, mate, it's more like, where can't you? I'm on every social media platform. Just type in Ryan Blue Bowen on any social media platform, you'll find me.
Even TikTok. Dances, sings, strips. Check it. And my other resident guest, Ryan was like,
have you made OnlyFans already? Ryan,
what was that?
Onlyfans.com.
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It's like Make some money. Need to make some money, guys.
Hey, it all counts.
Check out my OnlyFans. Rolls versus Armwrestling.
Get yourself over to the Rolls Royce. Raimonds like, good on. Say it properly, mate. We love this pronunciation. My favourite part of the show.
Armwrestling. Yeah.
There it is right there. Frode, do you have a YouTube channel? Have you got your own YouTube channel? No?
No. Or I do, but I don't have any.
You'll be seeing plenty of Frode Haugland as soon as lockdown's lifted on the World Arm Wrestling League. Go and check out his back catalogue on armwars.com as well. And ladies and gents, if you like what you see here on The Fix, if you enjoyed the show, please like, share, subscribe, tell everybody about it. And we will see you next time right here on The Fix next week. Ladies and gents, take it easy, peeps.